Hello, this is Adam Rayner for Slingshot World TV. Sat before you looking cool in his shorts in the middle of the 2018 summer heatwave, in the depths of his inner sanctum here in his workshop, Mr. Asa Wilson. In fact, his Asa is a very famous dude. And, well, yeah, more than that, you're not just any old maker. You've had this evolution of stuff going from, well, that's one of the things about Slingshot World TV. I wanted to get closer to your heroes. And right away, I want to see where it all began for you, Asa. Show us something nobody else has seen before. The very first catapult you ever made.
Bit of a rare one, this is, Adam. The first catapult I made about six or 7 years ago when I got in back. Well, we've all shot catapults as children and whatnot, but when I got back into them as an adult on the Facebook groups, I got introduced to certain groups and whatnot, and that was the first one I knocked up.
And it's made out of ivy.
It's
you
made
can see
of
it's
ivy,
all knobbly
yeah.
and
which is really unique because a lot of people deem ivy as not strong enough for a catapult. Trust me, this most certainly is.
Yes.
We've got some massive ivy around here, as you've seen in the trees. We're overgrown by it. In fact, if I was to have a daughter, I'd probably call her Ivy. I'm so used to seeing it. But yeah, that's a spalted ivy slingshot.
bit of heritage right there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Moving swiftly on to a lot of evolution later. Something you ended up going, what's the most precious one I can make? And at the time it was, what's the name of that
The
friend?
most precious one at the time, and even now, this is the most precious catapult to me and always will be. This is a Sam Stanley blank, scaled in ivory and inlaid with 66 separate bits of sterling silver.
Okay, for those viewers for whom the word ivory induced this inside their head, I can tell you that we've been discussing this. It's walrus ivory. It's been more environmentally scrutinised than anything you could imagine, and it's stuff from finds rather than anybody doing something so stupid as to shoot at walruses. And that you got the last of the batch that went to Holland and Purdy's?
I believe, I'm not sure which one it was. It was either Holland or Purdy, but it was commissioned.
Big flash shotgun
It
maker
was-
anyway.
well,
you were
yeah,
in good company as a
it
customer,
was for a
weren't you?
selection of knives that either one of them was building at the time.
Wow.
And I know I believe it was English handmade knives that they brought it in, and it was a bit of a mission for them to get it in, but obviously completely legal ivory that had been brought in. And it's nice to know that I've got the bits left over,
Yes.
used on a catapult that was going to a very famous gun makers.
And those are solid sterling silver pins around the mosaic pins.
There's still a little bit of work left to be done on that one.
That's why he's Asa Wilson.
We're having a little
Ladies and
bit
gentlemen,
more
look at
on
that. If you've been marvelling at the perfection, this man thinks there's stuff still to be done on this.
I'm not stopping
Asa.
until that is the most exclusive catapult in the
Take it
world.
away from me, take it away from me. Oh, sorry. And now, show us this trio of beautiful, colourful...
The Club Tropicanas.
I'm of the right age to have danced to that. That's showing your
Right,
age.
we'll go with the OTT version first. Now that material on there is a hybrid resin wood material. It's maple burl, and that was made especially for me by a fella that I know in San Francisco. We actually do trades. Nobody ever parts for money when it comes to meeting him. We trade materials for builds. I would say he's probably the best resin maker I've ever seen. So, and I've seen a lot of them. We've got G10 on there, and that green actually glows in the dark as well. Glows look really, really nice. But Club Tropicana,
Charge it up.
fitting for the colours.
Gorgeous. So
That's the OTT version.
of the Asa Wilson design, known as the Raptor.
Velociraptor.
Velociraptor,
Raptor
sorry.
for short.
Yes, yes.
That's the
So first off, he was modest enough not to mention it, and then he flipping corrected me.
TTF version.
Very Asa. That's cool. Oh, look.
And then we have
Just one side
the
point.
Microraptor. Originally, I only built one of these. That OTT one was built 6 months ago, Adam. But
Wow, really?
what I'd done is the person that had it built then looked at me and said, right, please don't post it me out. Keep it to remind yourself that I want 2 more. And 6 months later, we came along with these 2.
Wow.
That's the Microraptor. And luckily enough for me, the material was exclusive one-off material, but I had enough left to kind of do the other 2. They're built slightly different, the cores are slightly different, but the colour scheme is identical. Nice and bright for the weather we're having.
Yes. How different is that to...
Very small little catapult that is.
Whoa. And then finally, you had somebody ask you a question. You thought, well, that's a bit daft, whatever. And in the end, you've come up with something that you love to bits, and which Ben Priestman of HTH has done a special pouch for, in the shape
He
of...
has, and he's made a cracking job on that pouch as well. I've got to be honest, I'm a little bit
Show the
envious.
public, show the public.
This is the Batman Raptor.
This is the Batman Velociraptor.
It's an actual idea I had over a year ago of doing superhero catapults. I was going to do a superhero versus villain selection of catapults where you'd have maybe the Batman versus the Joker and vice versa.
Oh, you've got to do a virulent green one with spots for the Riddler.
Well, Riddler would be a brilliant one. I've actually got a great idea for the Green Lantern, which I think would be immense.
I think it would.
In fact, if you like your superheroes, you could just talk and talk and talk about possibilities for catapults.
Colourways.
It would just... everything is possible as well. I could do all of it. It's just finding the time to do it.
Yeah.
But they would be brilliant to see all boxed up in pelly cases, the hero versus the villain and whatnot. And also it'd bring a whole different market into catapults, because then you're getting into the comic book collector's market.
Yes.
I believe, anyway.
Now, you just used the P word, dude. The pelly case.
Pelly
One
case.
piece of luggage guaranteed to get broken into if it's left somewhere it shouldn't have
Apparently
ordinarily.
pelly cases are about as good as it gets. I'm a little bit new to this case market, but...
No, they are so
I know
good.
they're expensive.
They only ever have awesome things inside.
Well,
So
I don't know about
you
whether
don't
this is
leave
awesome.
pelly cases
It might not be
unattended.
awesome what's inside, but...
But yeah, you never leave a pelly case unattended. And one of the best adverts for pelly cases recently was a wildlife programme on the telly about the penguins. You see these poor people being hoisted onto an island. You see the cases smashing up the rocks. They take broadcast photography. They camp where the pigeons, pelicans, penguins pooed, and then they got dragged off. But the pelly case.
Apparently them boxes are quite indestructible.
Oh, they are the world's finest. They're absolute nuts. And here, in the what's called picky foam,
That's the Dark Arts Raptor.
the Dark Arts.
That
Raptor.
recently got me 39th in the Slingshot World Cup out of around 200 people, so I was happy with that. 39th might not sound a lot to a lot of people, but to me it was quite good.
How many people were shooting there, Asa?
I think it was around about 200.
How many countries have they come from?
22 countries.
How many people were watching the Chinese streaming when they were shooting?
On that one there was over 130,000 people
Yeah.
watching it get streamed.
Do you know how many people shot to go and be those top people for the Chinese?
I'm not quite sure. I know it was several thousand.
Ridiculous numbers of thousands. And
several
you,
thousand.
did you, I'll put it this way, you forged your very own flipping level of excellence there, Geezer. You got to a heck of a level at global
Well,
scale.
I was happy enough with it. I think I just completely blacked out, to be honest with you, at the event. And
Yes. I was marvelling
what
at this
I
thing
was
so
doing.
much, I think I covered your face
oh,
with
no,
the case there.
and the pink elastic that's on that was what actually won the World Cup. That was given to me and shot by the world champion, and it is actually quite good.
It is.
Believe it or
It's
not,
not very much, but they use
No.
tremendously light bands,
It's quite
small
good.
ammo.
Well, I'm all into this light bands and light
Mm-hmm.
ammo now, shooting 7mm steels and whatnot, and I'm really enjoying shooting, to be honest with you, a little bit more than I ever have done in the past.
Because a chunk of that was going and being a member, in your case, of Team Ireland at the Slingshot World
Oh,
Cup.
well, yeah, I made the choice before I left to shoot for Team Ireland, because obviously I've got two good friends
Yeah.
that are Irish, and they needed a four-man team to basically get into the event.
Yes.
Otherwise, they'd have been on the rest of the world team, which was no shame in that, but they're my friends, and I thought it was fitting just to try and help them out,
Yeah.
to which I did. But at the same time as I done it, I had a task set out for me that I wanted to at least have been good enough to have made the England A team, which
Yeah.
I actually did. So
Yes, you
that's,
said that in your comments. It was like, I shot well enough, so I would have been on the A team had.
Yeah, and I don't regret a single
Yes.
minute of it, to be honest with you. I did the right thing, so yeah, it was
And I
all,
was
it was all
just
good.
puke sick at not being able to go. Just
Oh, it was
amazing.
absolutely an amazing event.
'Cause you met Nathan
they treated us like
Masters.
gods. Met Nathan
You
Masters.
met that lunatic Darren
absolute
Glenn
legend,
Cook.
Darren Legend.
Is he as cool as he comes
cool.
across on Facebook, or even cooler?
Very cool, and his wife, I've got to say, is the most calming woman
Yeah,
ever.
she's fabulous.
Whatever's going on in your life, that woman will calm you. She
Yeah.
was amazing. Just the Chinese were amazing.
Yeah.
We met one lad there, I believe he's called Batao Nascimento. He came all the way from Brazil, and the man was a legend.
Yes.
Honestly, really, really good. It was the Italian shooters, the Spanish. Gaspar was there, a good friend of mine, and his father.
Yes.
He shot brilliant.
He did.
It-
And I have to tell you, Gaspar Arcon has got some serious presence in the magazine. Some of his catapults are in the
Yeah.
pictorial. But all I can say is, Asa, thank you so much. This seemingly dusty little flipping workshop thing
The old container.
turns out some of the most respected and loved catapults.
Well, what do
in
they
the whole
say?
of the scene.
It's not where they're built. It's about how they're built, or
And who's building them.
some story like that. I don't
Yes.
know what it is exactly.
And the main plot is that there's a little bit of the soul of the maker inside every single one.
We even got leftover materials. Some of the materials actually went into them particular builds.
Yes.
Got all left out there because I'm too lazy to take it back in.
So this is Adam Rayner Mr. Asa Wilson of Romany Custom Catapults, signing out for Slingshot World TV. Asa, thank you so much.
Not a problem.
You just made my magazine.